Hi, I'm Jackson. Welcome back to another video. So today, if you read the title, we are making Jack's Num Num cookies. And the recipe is by MaryLou Jaso, an official Pixar Pastry Chef. So yes, this is an official recipe, and it will, if you've been to Disney, this should taste pretty similar to it. Well, I mean, it won't be taste exactly because, I mean, they're professionals, but it will still taste very, very, very good. Oh, and my shirt. This is the shirt I wore to Hollywood Studios. And speaking about Hollywood Studios, here's a picture of me with Mr. Incredible. So, are you ready to make some cookies? Well, I am. It's going to taste so good. Okay, ingredients. You will need 1 cup of butter, 2 sticks. So 1 cup of butter, 2 sticks, 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, and 1 yolk. So that means you can't have anything else, just the yolk. When you break an egg, there's kind of like just stuff in it. But that like clear stuff, but you don't want that, just the yolk. So if you can't kind of get it out yourself, you might want to ask a grown-up's help if you're baking alone, but I'm guessing no. So you will need 1/4 cup of sugar over here. Trust me, we have more than just this. And then we have 1 tablespoon of sea salt, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 2 1/4 cups of flour. Ooh, that's heavy. And 1 cup of chocolate chips, but the real ones is the semi-sweet chunks. The chocolate chunks are what they use at Disney, trust me. So my recipe and the official recipe is chunks, not chips. Remember that, chunks, not chips. And this is all in the book, so if you want to overread it yourself, here you can. Good, and if you can pause the video really quickly if you want to see the recipe. Okay, good. And if you didn't get it, you can always rewind. Okay, so if you'd rather not stare at the book like this, we'll leave a link in the description for the recipe below. By that little arrow, just click in, you'll see the recipe. Okay, so remember when I said tablespoons? I'm sorry, but if you already have your ingredients, but it was actually teaspoons. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so you're going to need to brown the butter in a frying pan and then have it cool and wait till it solidifies. And if you don't know what solidify means, it means to get hard. And so we're going to be going to the stove, and the stove is really dangerous, so you're going to probably need to be attended with by a grown-up, so if you're by yourself. Okay, so here we are with the butter, and we're going to attempt to brown it, because we've never browned butter before, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so when you're doing it, you might want to move the butter a little bit around, and you could move the pan just a little bit, and just most of the time just let it sit and kind of have it move around. And we're pretty much good. And also, you notice that the fire is blue. Here's a little science. Blue is the hottest fire, or purplish. Blue, purplish, that's the hottest type of fire that exists. So it's even hotter than orange fire. So if you touch that, it would hurt very bad. So make sure to don't go touching in, because this is all hot. Okay, to brown it, you just need to put it on medium. So it's getting really sizzly, so I need to say this fast. Okay, the butter is brown and it smells like really good. And it's also very hot, so don't go touching it because it's germs and it's hot. Don't want to burn yourself. So yeah, and the thing we found out is you have to keep stirring and stirring until it starts seeing brown little specks at the bottom. Immediately stop and take it in the pan and put it in this bowl. So let's go on, and this is what the bowl is. And at the very bottom, you can see it's brown. Isn't that interesting? See, look, there's brown at the very bottom. It's very weird. I don't know why. Well, let's go on to step 2. Okay, so I hate this butter because it's not solidifying. It's taking forever. Well, anyway, here's something that can keep you entertained while that butter is solidifying. Here's a joke I have for you. Mickey went to the doctor, but why? Because he was having Disney spells. And if you don't get that joke, Disney spells is what you're like going crazy and you're about to pass out. So, Disney spells, Disney, similar. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm at a restaurant and they have this best pizza in the world. So I'm eating it, it's getting all over my face. Like, isn't the situation a little bit cheesy? Why can't you give Elsa a balloon? Because she'll let it go. What kind of car does Minnie Mouse drive? A minivan. Did you hear Han Solo has a new business selling Wookiee cookies? They are really good, but they're a little chewy. Okay, so the butter is beginning to solidify, so that's the time when you need to start the next step, and we will start our next step. Okay, so we're gonna add in the salt and the sugars and cream it together, and then it's in a mixing bowl until light and fluffy. So we're gonna add in, I think this is the sugar. Okay, that's good. It's like a baking show I have. We're gonna have the brown sugar. Oh, well, that was a little messy. And we're gonna add the salt. Okay, so now we're gonna use this and mix it together. Okay, so we're gonna start to cream it, and it's starting to get a little bit light, and a little bit fluffy, so that's a good sign. It means we're almost done, so just keep mixing it like I am right now. Okay, look, now it looks like a little creamy. And my mom thinks it looks like chocolate mousse. And if you don't know what mousse is, it's kind of like just a fluffy thing. It's kind of a desserty thing you can eat. And yeah, so let's add the ingredients. So it should be looking like that, similar. But this is, it's like animated cartoon thing. So it doesn't look exactly. So anyway, let's put the yolk in. Okay, the yolk is about in. Let's put the egg in. Okay, the egg is in. And don't worry if it doesn't look exact. And because you'll mix it all together if it's close. And we'll also add the vanilla extract. It smells nice. It smells very nice, but it doesn't taste nice. I've tried it. Don't just take vanilla out of like the bottle and start eating it. It smells nice, but it tastes disgusting. So don't do that. Anyway, and let's move on. Okay, so now I am mixing my ingredients together. You can combine the dry ingredients, which are flour and baking soda. So let's add the baking soda first. And I learned about the hard ingredients, like the brown sugar. Don't go dumping it in because it will like fly. So carefully put it in when you put your flour in, because you don't want it to go too bad. And look, it's perfect. We're gonna mix this together, and then it should look after like that. Okay, so it is mixed, and this is what it looks like. So this is basically the cookie. And all we have to do now is add the chocolate chips. But listen, you won't need that blender anymore. But now you'll need a gigantic spoon. So basically, you're gonna need to put these chocolate chips inside of the bowl. Just put them in the bowl, and then they're in the bowl. And what you need to do now is use a spoon and stir them together. Stir it inside of the bowl all together like I am doing. Okay, so the chocolate chips are mixed in, and now you're gonna have to scoop them up in balls and place them on a pan. So that's what we're gonna do. So I have this thing. Basically what you do is you scoop it up and then you do that. See how it moves? That's how it will take it out, kind of cut it out and put it on. So basically I'm gonna grab it and then put it aside, kind of like this. Kind of make them in a little ball form. And see, now do that. And then there is one cookie. And don't worry, it looks like it's in a ball form, but later, when it bakes, it will flatten out and it will turn into a cookie. Okay, just to let you know is that you know how I scooped it up and put it down and it didn't crumble apart? That was actually really rare because every other time it literally crumbles. So you might need help because this dough is very crumbly from like a parent or guardian grown up. Because if you might need to squeeze the ball back together, like very lightly mush it back together because you don't want really crumbly because it won't really be a cookie if it's all crumbly and not together. Okay, so this batch turned out to be 30 cookies. What? So there's 3 people in my family, so that's approximately 10 cookies for each person in my family. So, yay! And so it says to refrigerate at least an hour, probably overnight, but preferably overnight, sorry. But I really want these cookies today, so I'm going to do about 6 hours. So I recommend probably like 6 hours or more. So I will see you in 6 hours. Okay, so the cookies have been in the fridge for over 6 hours already. And now it's time to preheat the oven to get it ready. So all ovens are different, so don't pay attention to what I'm doing, because I'm just getting it started. And there, it is preheating. It's at 210 degrees Fahrenheit, and we have to wait till it gets to 350. Once it gets to 350, we can put the cookies inside of the oven. Okay, the oven is preheated, and now we're gonna have to put these little guys in the oven. So we're gonna go put them in the oven. Okay, so the cookies are in the oven, and I'm going to be watching them to see them turn into, well, real cookies. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for golden brown on the edges of the cookies, but it's still soft in the center. See, it's Jack Jack. I think he's the oven in this. Okay, the cookies are out of the oven, and it took longer to bake because the cookie pan was in the fridge. And now we're going to put these cookies on the cooling rack. Next step is to enjoy the cookie. And now I'm going to take a bite. Okay. Tastes exactly like the one at Disney. This is delicious. Okay, so I thought I could eat more than one cookie, so I tried and I thought I could eat so many, but after I had one, I got really full, and then I thought I could have one more, but then after I had half of another, I'm like, I am done. So these are very rich and filling, and you want one? Oh, you do? Well, why not try one for yourself? Now, if you want your own cookie, you can bake one from MaryLou's recipe, and you can have your own Jack Jack's Num Nums, maybe have a Disney day. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed my Jack Jack's Num Num cookie video. And make sure to remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when I make another video and make it go up to YouTube for all of you guys to see. I'll see you in the next video, so bye. And this is the blooper reel. All together like I am doing. And then you're going to have to put it in a drying rack.